welcome back everybody to the Intel Extreme Masters Toronto America Qualifier, where we are getting ready for our second semi-final of the upper bracket, which means the winner of this series will qualify for Toronto as well, and it's going to be a ZvZ between Scarlett and ViOlet, two players that have gone up against each other a couple of times as well over the last few months. And we had the pleasure of casting quite a bit of Scarlett, her ZvZ. She's pretty damn good at a matchup, that's safe to say. We're already loaded into game number 1, Overgrowth, but before we jump into the game, we can perhaps take a very quick look at the bracket just to show you guys what's up.
I don't know if we have time to look at the bracket.
20 seconds? No, we'll just jump into the game.
I don't... Oh, okay.
What's happening? So then we definitely have time.
Okay, so we're looking at the bracket, but sorry, we started the game, and Scarlett wasn't building any drones. And I was like, is she seriously going to 6-pool? I know this is a map where she 9-pools, but I was like, is she really going to 6-pool? And then she types in chat, she's like, oh, I was alt-tabbed. I was like, okay, so they're going to
That's what happens when Roddy's not the host. I always do the safety check.
You know what, man?
Alrighty, guys.
A nice guy. Could have been ugly.
So we could have. So we can take a look at the upper bracket. We see that Major made his way through after playing all 3 matchups. I think that's perhaps the most impressive thing. And he didn't have an easy round 1 either, going up against Suppy, then going up against Huck, and in the end against Paul. That's an absolutely phenomenal run by him. We're already into the new game on Overgrowth. That went very quick. So game is coming up, and now we're in the south side of the bracket. Scarlett defeated Select and Puck, while ViOlet went over Saravati. And who did ViOlet play in round 1? Was it Fog? It was Fog. Man, my memory is actually on the money today. So now we're going to fire up our second semi-finals. The winner will qualify for the main event in Toronto. Of course, IEM Toronto is going to be sick. I am so excited for that event. I'm really, really excited.
It's going to be awesome. I miss my Northeast, even if it's not exactly in the U.S. I haven't been up Northeast in a while.
Toronto is also one of the coolest cities in the world. I really think.
You mean like literally cool? Because it's a pretty chilly place in the winter.
It is cool indeed, but I think that city is just awesome. I've been to a lot of cities, but if I would live in a big city that's not Rotterdam, even though Rotterdam is not all that big, I think Toronto would be very high up there. Toronto and Stockholm are 2 of my favorite cities.
Stockholm's beautiful.
So is Toronto.
I miss Sweden already.
And all this poutine, all this maple syrup. I can dig Toronto. Either way, over here on the left bottom side of the map, playing under a barcode account, it is the one and only, and he's 9-pooling, ViOlet, of course representing the CSN agency. ViOlet 2 is currently living in Atlanta, Georgia, for the people who don't know. But it's going up against our North American Zerg player, hailing from Canada, who's now, I believe, in Korea, because he just mentioned it's like 7 or 8 a.m. where she is, so that would only make sense if she's in Korea.
Yeah, I'm bad at time zones, but Team Acer, she is Scarlett.
Well, it's definitely not 7 a.m. in Europe, so.
No. Well, you're the one that calculated Hawaii time for all of our events, so I kind of expect you to be on the ball with this.
Yeah. No. Hawaii time is part of our routine from now on. It's very important for all the fans in Honolulu.
I really hope someone watching from Hawaii tweets at us one to be like, thank you guys for giving us updates on all this Hawaiian time I never know about. Like no esports event has ever discussed Hawaii time until we have Intel Extreme Masters Honolulu.
Alright, Scarlett has fired up her spawning pool actually before her hatchery. For a second I thought it was hatch first when we were talking about Hawaii time. So this is actually in a pretty okay scenario, and Scarlett should be able to save her hatchery. It's always one of those scenarios where it's not going to be easy, and it's quite a few Zerglings making their way across the map for ViOlet as well. He's even firing up an extractor already on one base.
He's still only making Zerglings.
Yep.
This is
a speed follow-up probably.
So Scarlett could pull drones with her lings, and I think that she will. Okay, so she does. But this is actually good for ViOlet because he just wants to slow her down as much as possible, and he actually has enough Zerglings to overwhelm this.
But if anyone knows how to defend this, normally you would say that it's Scarlett, because he does this build so incredibly often, so she knows exactly what's required to defend this. It's 4 against 5 lings now, but a couple of the Zerglings from ViOlet already took a little bit of a beating. However, he will still win this fight, but with just 2 Zerglings left for now, he's not going to be able to make a whole lot happen. He's squeezing in a big rotation of drones. He's mining gas just to 100. He's going to fire up speed, kind of what I expected, just a speed follow-up. And now, of course, it's very important for Scarlett that she identifies this in time.
Yeah, this is a tense, stressful situation for sure. And it's a bit weird, I'd say, because typically we look at games like this and we say, oh, Scarlett's the 9-pooler. But no.
but that's also very good, because it's awesome to play against a strategy that you've done yourself so many times. However, this is different though, because the majority of the time when Scarlett 9 pulls, she does it only to cancel the hedge first and then just back off.
She never makes more than 8 lings.
Exactly, and she backs off immediately as well. She drops her own expand and she tries to take it from there. ViOlet, however, stayed on one base way longer, fired up Zergling speed. He's still making a few drones, but I'm kind of expecting him to start producing a lot of Zerglings soon. And then Baneling Nest is going to go down as well in the main base. This only makes sense because you're not going to follow this up with Zergling speed if you don't want to do anything with it.
Yeah, I agree. This is still a pretty interesting situation because Scarlett saving that natural hatchery is incredibly important. You get the extra larva,
love to see
the
one more
creep
queen.
spread.
I'd really love to see one more queen from Scarlett.
I think Scarlett will get another queen in her main base. She needs one for her main.
Yeah, she needs to have the 2 queens on the ramp so she can protect the spine crawler. And she also needs to make sure that Zerglings can't pass through. Nothing but drones so far
like,
for Scarlett.
look at the drone count.
Yep.
It's kind of gnarly at the moment.
She just has to. This hatchery did take quite a bit of damage already, Nate. It's only on 717 HP.
Yeah. Got a quick update, guys. Illusion is currently 1-0 against Suppy right now in the lower bracket. Huck has defeated Fog 2-1, eliminating him from the qualifier as well.
Okay, so good news for all the Huck fans out there, and it's also a good lead so far for Illusion, especially after Suppy's having an okay run. Had a tough time against Scarlett's actually going to try to defend as a wall.
This is
She needs a second spine then. Oh, she really needs a second spine.
This is really difficult because
first Baneling's already coming in.
The Banelings could actually try to kill the. Oh, I guess Evolution Chamber is one way to try to go with this, but there you go. Zerglings run in.
Is it enough Zerglings though?
There's next wave coming
in.
This is gonna get us around on these queens.
Transfuse.
This is where things get difficult. Oh, good transfuse, good transfuse.
But she needs to put them on the ramp again. The queens can't get
the
surrounded.
Oh, one other queen gets surrounded. I think ViOlet's getting in, but Scarlett still has a lot of workers. Scarlett still has not lost any of her workers. Her Roachborn's very close to completing. All she needs to do is not lose like half of her drones, and she's totally fine.
And I don't think that's going to happen. It's of course annoying defending speedlings without speed.
Yeah, Scarlett's already building drones again, by the way. She is super comfortable.
ViOlet did the exact same thing, and it's still not that bad for ViOlet because he killed all the queens, which means that he will have way more larva to work with. He has all the injects, so he can definitely catch up in that department. It's actually not too bad for ViOlet. I would even say that he came out slightly ahead from this after all.
Yeah, the 1 or 2 differences as far as the overall subscope. Well, those Zerglings actually got a couple. Wait, did I just miss something? Okay, I thought there was just like some sort of Baneling detonation. Looks like a lot more worker kills than I thought he got it at first.
Maybe in the main?
Yeah, I think we made some Banelings in the bottom of the main base.
I actually looked for that. I specifically looked for that. I didn't see it. In the end, Scarlett is down a few workers. She does have a lot of links. He could potentially counterattack with her speed links. That's something that she can perhaps hang into. She's still up a few workers though, so it's not all bad news.
I'd like to see her try to get on that third base, but the problem is as soon as she moves those lings out and ViOlet sees that she's leaving her base, he's just going to make like a few Banelings next to the hatchery and then it's not going to be touchable. So this is still really tricky because ViOlet also wants to get on top of the third base of Scarlett.
Yeah, he's actually going to be able to get there in time, but Scarlett has plenty of slow links in position to deal with this for now. Scarlett, her layer is already halfway done.
Scarlett's much faster layer, I think, is the biggest advantage that she has, but right now, as these Zerglings and Banelings do battle, I'm getting the feeling that if the layer doesn't start within the next 30 seconds for ViOlet, he's probably just going to do a Roach Baneling all-in, like with this +1 attack.
Not sure how much I will be digging that.
There's nowhere you can go without a lair in this situation, because eventually Scarlett's going to have speed, and if she wanted to go Mutalisks, she would have Mutalisks, so...
Yeah, Scarlett wanted to counterattack, but then she realized she still had to worry about all these speed links over here on the left top side of the map. Leia gets fired up.
I think he sees, like, he's like, oh, Scarlett actually got Zergling speed. Well, this is really awkward, because now I can't do anything. And Scarlett gets her third base, like, half saturated. This is a really tough spot to be in for ViOlet.
She just fired up like 11 drones as well. Still 4 more drones on the way too. Eventually, you know, ViOlet will be able to start mining from this base as well. It's a little bit tricky that he lost all of his speed links. It could be very annoying to defend against these speed links from Scarlett now. She still has 19. 19 is not like an amount that's going to completely kill a base, but it can definitely be very frustrating if it swings in, gets a queen, gets a couple of drones, and then your roaches have to come to the rescue again. And above all, ViOlet is a very wide open natural, Nate.
Yeah. This is a big opportunity for Scarlett. In fact, I don't even know if I could say opportunity as much as she's just been put in a very good position. She also has that Carapace upgrade. ViOlet has only been operating off of a single evolution chamber, so her Roach is just better. They're genetically superior at this point with their roach speed as well.
It's really funny how our North American is currently playing from Korea and our Korean is currently playing from North America.
It's poetic. +2 attack starts up for ViOlet. Scarlett still needs to start hers up. Needs a couple more.
Has a nice roach advantage as well, though. I mean, ViOlet is firing up 11 roaches, so he will be about even soon. A couple of Zerglings did run into this one defensive Baneling. One more Zergling is going to try to trigger that other Baneling to detonate. However, the roaches from Scarlett are going to run up to this ramp. So he has to be careful, though. So he had a small roach advantage, but it's really hard to push the issue here. There are a few more Banelings morphing.
I love this. The Zerglings.
Oh my god. Her control's so good.
Yeah, Zerglings in this mineral line are going to go to town while ViOlet has to deal with the roaches pressuring his natural.
Yeah, it was actually real well done. DC did it so incredibly fast. I really expected the Baneling to connect with way more Zerglings than what happened in the end.
But she hasn't really killed that many drones.
I see got a few there.
Yeah.
Not too many.
But
it still looked good. The queen is very low. I mean, the links don't really add too much anyway. So
yeah, you want to trade them out for the drones. It was like an okay defensive ViOlet, but Scarlett's still in a phenomenal position. Oh, a contamination actually thrown on that evolution chamber too. So nice little delay. And that +2.
Help.
The +2 is actually pretty close to the two players. ViOlet started his first, so this is actually a really big deal because now Scarlett is dead. It's actually like dead even after they contaminate.
Yeah, this is just a super even game. Scarlett's still a little bit ahead in supply, but by the time it takes to run across the map in a ZvZ, 6-7 roaches is often not enough to really push the issue. She's still going to try, and I'm not sure if this is the engagement that she was looking for.
She's got that Carapace upgrade mixed in as well with a few Zerglings leading the pack, so she's taking good trades. And when you have upgrade leads with roaches, as long as all the roaches are able to attack and your opponent doesn't have some like magical godlike positioning.
Might actually just work. It's close. There is another roach skirmish going on in the middle of the map as well. Scarlett is winning that one, so if she just survives it a little bit longer.
She has a roach count advantage outside of ViOlet's base. ViOlet simply does not have enough to stop her.
Oh my god, it's 35 roaches against 13. That may just be a little too much to handle. And Scarlett is going to do what we saw her do so often lately, and that's win another ZvZ off the back of just pretty solid gameplay. GG is called, and Scarlett will take a 1-0 lead in this semi-final of the Intel Extreme Masters Toronto Qualifier. That was a pretty entertaining back and forth game with Scarlett facing the strategy that she opens with oh so many times.
Yeah, really good response as well. The way that she prepared herself, opening up with the 15 pool, just to ensure that if there were any shenanigans, she would be okay. Overgrowth is pretty much the smallest rush distance as far as any of the maps go in the current pool. So it's pretty much the only map where you can kind of expect the aggressive plays enough that you tune your build order to it. Because Scarlett certainly, on other maps, like King Sejong Station, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if she opted for something like a hatchery first. But, you know, anything could happen.
Yeah, like you said, King Sejong Station is going to be our second map. We have another update from one of the other best of threes that is currently going on between Illusion and Suppy. The score is currently 1-1, so they're all tied up. I kind of expected, like, those two are pretty evenly matched. I'd give a small edge to Suppy, but I must say lately I've perhaps been not giving the love to Chris that he deserves, because Illusion has been posting better results again.
Yeah.
Very convincing challenger win.
It's funny how Illusion's results work, because I just saw him streaming the other day. He's like, super rusty. I'm like, super rusty? You just played your WSS Challenger match. And he's like, yeah. He's like, you know, I woke up. I was like, oh, wait, I got to play my match. Wins it.
3-0.
Like, Illusion is actually, he probably makes himself worse when he practices a lot. That's like the impression that I get from him now.
Yeah, but that gets in your mind as well. Like, you have to get over that.
Yeah.
I do know what you mean, as there are more players who said that. They're like, oh, I often perform better when I don't practice a lot. I guess that's because, you know, they care less then, because they don't expect much of themselves and they don't put too much pressure on it.
Yeah. I mean, if you can trick yourself into not being nervous over a couple $1,000 match, then sure, why not? But
would be hard for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested to see how that match turns out. We're loaded into game number 2, guys, of our second semifinal. The winner of this best of 5, of course, goes on Intel Extreme Masters Toronto. So, without further ado, in the bottom right position, we have a blue Zerg player representing the CSN agency. His name is ViOlet.
ViOlet is pretty solid. ZvZ in general as well. Definitely, I don't think his weakest matchup.
I kind of like ZvZ for ViOlet, actually, when I look at all the matchups. He plays a pretty aggressive
He plays
ZvZ.
a really active. He plays a very active style of StarCraft. Like ViOlet is a pleasure to watch for the simple fact that he always tries to make stuff happen. He's been doing this ever since he won Into Extreme Masters Sao Paulo in 2012. That was the start of ViOlet's would you say fame or like path to being a star. Either way, that was one of his first big tournaments he ever won. Of course, he followed it up with those amazing MLG victories, and above all, that very good run at IPL 5, which I think is even his biggest achievement up to date, because that was a super stacked tournament, and being the runner-up of IPL 5, that was just a tournament victory on its own. Either way, as everybody can see, things are going to be a little more economic for now, as it's hedge first on either side, so that 9 pool didn't really throw anybody off.
Nope. I like how you said it though. ViOlet, he plays a very active style of StarCraft. He's pretty active in the gym too. Active is like he's got his lifestyle thing across the board.
Correct, Nate. ViOlet is a beast.
ViOlet is a beast.
But soon you'll be outbeasting him.
I got a long way to go before I outbeast ViOlet. He's my motivation.
The people at home perhaps don't know, but Nate has been beasting it up lately. You can tell already. You're on a good track, Nate. You're inspiring me to become a better person too. Yesterday I was like, man, Nate's going to the gym again. I should go as well, but then I changed my mind. I got a hamburger and fries. But tomorrow, Nate. Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Well, this game so far, it's actually just a mirror image. I'm trying to look for differences in what they're doing. Frankly, there aren't really any.
There is none.
Both players went for gas. Both players got their gas at about the same time. The queens are going to start and finish about the same time. So the real question now becomes, we're going to see Zergling speed before we see a Banley Nest, almost 100% because of the way that the openings have played out. The question is, do we actually get a Banley Nest? Is ViOlet going to do that thing where he lets you scout the fact that he mined 100 gas or that he's mining gas, and then he just goes for a lair? Like, because ViOlet is the one I think that busts out the craziest of mind games.
That's true. Scarlett, of course, on the other hand, has a pretty unique ZvZ style on her own. Every now and then you'll see her open up with Mutalisk and just kind of rush into Great Aspire, something you picked up on a couple of weeks ago. And ever since then, she's done it multiple times, and I've even seen it in some other tournaments now as well. Of course, you know, you can no longer abduct Brute Lords. They are immune to abduct, so suddenly the Brute Lord, you know, definitely made a comeback in this matchup, and it's once more a hashtag Roddy Soundboard force to be reckoned with. We do see Baning that's going down. No, Scarlett wasted. Oh, actually, sometimes it looks like they're wasting 5 minerals, but then they're not. It's just the party hat. You do waste the party hat.
Yeah, I've seen some Zerg players complain about that party hat looking like minerals.
Really?
Yeah. Destiny was like, he's like, man, I can't tell if my drones actually have minerals in their hands or not. I'm like, really? This is like, it's like the party hats are imbalanced apparently. So ViOlet is doing that thing where he opens up with a fast gas and then just gets a lair pretty early.
Yep.
Opting not to go for speed.
One of those things is kind of difficult to scout, even though the Overlord is on the right side of his base. So Scarlett will be able to see it relatively quickly. She's going to fire up a pretty quick layer on its own, because normally we're going to be like 6-minute layer. Well, that's fast, Nate. That's really fast. ViOlet on the other end is getting a Roach Warren.
Yeah, it makes sense with the opening. You want to get fast Roach speed. He could try to get it a +1 too. But the way that Scarlett is opened up, actually kind of presents... So there's an interesting balance between the way that these guys' build orders are working out, right? Scarlett, she's going for fast Mutalisk play, whereas ViOlet with this Roach attack, he's going to get +1. His Roach +1 is going to finish up right around the same time that the Mutalisks start to come out. So, if he makes a really big, dedicated, committed push with his Roaches, with Roach speed and with +1, yeah, he has an opportunity to kill Scarlett before she actually has enough Mutalisks to challenge him.
Yep, it's a really good point. And now normally Mutalisks are barely there in time to somehow defend against this Roach Butch and barely make it through, and then of course you can clean up the rest. But because ViOlet does not actually research speed while he pretends like he does, his attack is going to hit, let's say, a solid 30 seconds quicker, and 30 seconds can really make the difference between a push like this work or a fail. Will there be enough spine crawlers? Will the Mutalisk be out in time? All those small things, they can make such a huge difference in this phase in the game, and we'll see if it's going to be the case this time, Nate, as the Roaches are already out.
Yep.
ViOlet will try to get his hatchery down.
So there's two ways that this can play out. ViOlet can go for a big push with his +1 and his Roach speed, and try to kill Scarlett early on, which may or may not work depending on how well she reacts. Or Scarlett can do a little bit more poking and prodding on this third base, because if ViOlet isn't going to attack, he needs to get some Spore Crawlers soon. He needs to get a defense set up, and he needs to make sure that he can secure this third base, because he currently doesn't have any creep spread there, which also kind of, you know, exacerbates any weakness to Mutalisks, because if you don't have creep, you can't put Spore Crawlers down.
You could also pull a TLO and just run across the map with roaches and drones and build a bunch of Spore Crawlers in Scarlett or Natural.
That is the full that's the full YOLO build. That's actually the only, I couldn't think of any appropriate word other than YOLO for that strategy. that is just
I am
madness.
a bad influence, Nate. Either way, 7 Mutalisks are on their way. I think Scarlett has done a pretty good job in running around with her few speed links. He didn't really have all that many, just trying to buy time. This one, this one spine. We'll be able to save this hatchery for now. Roaches are a little bit indecisive, and the first Mutalisk are out.
These roaches need to move in. Like, there's so few mutas. Yeah. Like, these roaches are not just gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna. He should be able to kill the queens. He should be able to kill a good amount of drones. It just depends. Like, the mutas are coming out now, but there's still, like, these drones have to run away. Are there any more roaches coming across the map? Not too many more.
He was droning up already a little bit behind this, so it's not super all in. He's just trying to get as many drones and as many queens as possible. And ViOlet is getting quite a few. He's also buying time, of course, to get Spore Crawlers up on the other side of the map. What else?
The Zerglings have actually really done work for Scarlett. I think this attack normally does a lot more damage, but like I said, it comes down to how Scarlett's going to react to it. And she actually had a crazy amount of Zerglings on the map.
It is amazing that she has only lost 2 drones against all those roaches.
That is actually the push that half the time just actually kills Zerg players that rush mutas.
Yep.
And now there's the nice thing for ViOlet is actually that Scarlett is going into roaches so quickly. She's going to use her economic advantage to push out more roaches than him, but because these Mutalisks still have a lot more utility to be gained, like they're going to be much more cost effective as they go on.
They can go Overlord hunting, they can work on an extractor here and there, maybe get a couple of drones with their splash damage or their bouncing glaive. A couple of Zerglings start working on the debris over here as well. Could be really annoying if Zerglings jump on top of your Spore Crawler and then suddenly the Mutalisk fly in to finish off the rest of your drones.
Yeah, the only real advantage that ViOlet has right now are the upgrades, and he's actually getting an infestation pit. I wouldn't be surprised to see pathogen glands, or even, okay, pathogen glands makes sense. I was going to say maybe there's in some crazy twisted world he actually gets a few swarm hosts just to hold off the potential roach attack, but pathogen glands is also a reasonable choice. Like I said, his only upgrade is, in terms of this game, is the upgrades for the roaches. This is his only advantage.
Overlord speed has been an excellent investment in this game, otherwise he would have lost 3 or 4 more Overlords. Look at, oh my god, this guy's so fast.
Cruising down the highway.
Scarlett starts knocking on ViOlet's natural, and there are still a couple of Mutalisks to help out as well. Scarlett is 11 roaches ahead, Nate, during all this. A lot of roaches being fired up, but look at these Mutalisks, they're actually pushing out a lot of damage, really helping a little bit. And Scarlett might be able to break ViOlet over here with all of her reinforcements, and above all, these Mutalisks being basically untouchable.
Yep, she's found a sweet spot where that Spore Crawler is completely useless. The Queen is down, which means the Mutas have free reign.
I think she's going to be able to do it.
Despite that upgrade advantage, it's become a numbers game. And Scarlett has the higher number. Usually good sign for that person.
Yeah, 2-1 roaches dying against 1-0 roaches. That's not something that we'll see very often. And ViOlet is still trying to hang in there. He's not down and out yet. He has 17 roaches currently to work with.
That Spore Crawler being moved exposes this mineral line, which makes things doubly dangerous.
Yeah, Scarlett could potentially focus the queens as well, and that would be so deadly, because then there is really no anti-air left. Now I feel like ViOlet is getting an okay fight over here. He's still down in supply, but these upgrades should matter, right?
Yeah, the upgrades, they're nice. They are actually working for such low numbers, but
I'd like to
Scarlett's
see this support
supply,
going forward.
ViOlet is just losing so much with every trade. He's been holding on. He's clearly not completely been killed off yet, but he's not trading as effectively as he'd like to be. Another Spore Crawler gets finished, and all Scarlett really has to do
is hanging in there.
Off.
That was actually a great hold there. Is there anything in the menu? There's still single Spore. Really smart play by ViOlet to use those Spore Crawlers to absorb the damage, or Scarlett would ignore them, but then she would end up losing all of her Mutalisks. Good play there by ViOlet. That wasn't easy to hang in there. He's actually still even in workers, Nate. It's not all bad news with the upgrade advantage that he has. Yeah, he's down in roaches 10 by 10, but that's about it. Yeah, there are still a few Mutalisks being annoying, but they shouldn't kill all that much anymore.
Yeah, this is really being crazy.
You don't want to lose your Roach Warren.
ViOlet's going to lose his Roach Warren.
Spore Crawler. Spore Crawler's dropping the ball.
Where's that range upgrade? Where's my high sec auto spores?
This is really frustrating. You don't want to end up... Now Scarlett could potentially make a lot of roaches and try to attack once again. And then I think she might just have too much for ViOlet to deal with. Now ViOlet's going to fire up a couple of infestors. Because, hey, you have to do something, right?
Yeah.
Here she comes, Nate.
ViOlet's next Roach Horn isn't done.
This is really bad news for ViOlet. He was already down in roaches. He's still up in upgrades, but +2 is now halfway done for ViOlet. The only thing, or for Scarlett, the only thing that ViOlet will have going for himself is that he has a couple of fungals to work with. And the only thing better than fungal is being defensive and being able to fungal your opponent.
It's only going to be 2 fungals though, and that makes me really worried. The roaches are coming in. Scarlett gets a fantastic spread, and ViOlet loses his next Roach Horn. He has. Look at his bank. ViOlet has such a stupid amount of money banked up because he actually can't build anything. He actually can't build any units.
And the Spore is going to fall. A few more fungals will land, but ViOlet just almost has no units to work with. What a great snipe. Such a silly snipe on this Roach Warren set Scarlett up for her victory in the long run. As GG is called, ViOlet not being able to spend his money after losing his production building twice. And just when I thought, Nate, just when I thought that like ViOlet did a really good job in hanging in there, he was even in drones, he still had queens, he had spore crawlers in every base, and he was 2 upgrades ahead, he ends up losing the Roach Warren. And that looked so silly as well, that happened so slow, it was like 6 Mutalisk chip. He could have repositioned the Spore, he really could have.
That's really frustrating. That's got to be like, that's one of those things, honestly, if that happens to me in a ladder game, I don't want to play another game for the rest of the day because you've got all this money and absolutely no way to spend it. You're not going to build slow lings. You're not going to build slow lings against 1-1 roaches. That's simply not going to cut it.
And most of the time when you play roaches, you're also not on 6 extractors, so it's not like you can fire up 8 or 9 infestors because you don't have the gas for that. You know, you have the right amount of gas to make a whole lot of roaches, squeeze in an upgrade, and maybe just a few infestors, but you don't have money or you don't have the gas to spend crazy amount of gas on infestors. You just don't want to do that. You can burn through your entire bank immediately, but then you're still stuck with 2,000 minerals. So there's nothing that will be going your way. Either way, we are ready for game number 3. Seems like the players are ready as well. We have another update for you guys from the rest of the bracket, as Illusion has just defeated Suppy 2-1. So Chris also representing Root. Man, Root Gaming is the boys are doing solid lately. You have to be honest, but
Root is actually...
El Capitane's boys are really holding down the fort.
This has been a sick month for Root. Aigas in Premier, Illusion, in Major, Premier. Everybody.
Yep.
Everybody's going ham on Root right now.
Everybody's in Premier. Everybody is qualifying for the big events as well today, Major. Just awesome. And of course, Supernova joining also makes it a very big month.
Yeah. It's been sick. Supernova actually just won his Korean weekly online tournament, All-in-One League.
I heard a very great North American Terran finished top 4.
Yeah, can you believe an American finished top 4 in that?
In an all-Korean tournament. Well, a few foreigners, but this one North American, he battled his way through Codas after Codas Superstar to walk away with a big prize purse in the end as well. Nate, congratulations, you're on the SC2 earnings list right now.
Yeah, man, $10 officially. It's actually on my Aligulike page now. It says I've won money. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it is sick. I felt really proud when I won money in Heroes of Newerth. I was like, yeah.
The question is, like, I might have more than $10, but how I spend that particular $10 means a lot to me. So we're loaded in.
Have you thought about it yet?
Honestly, I have no idea.
All right.
Maybe a lotto ticket. First one I buy.
Either way, over here on the top side of Catalina, we have the amazing Korean Zerg player who's currently down 0-2. It is ViOlet, representing the CSN agency, and currently living in Atlanta. ViOlet going up against our very own North American superstar, Scarlett herself. Of course, hailing from Canada, but she is currently in Korea. If I didn't misunderstand her earlier today, but I have no idea why she would say it's 7 AM if she's not in Korea.
Probably could be the most epic jet lag ever.
Yeah, she might just be talking in jet lag time.
My body thinks it's 7 AM.
I mean, that's possible. Then I would have misunderstood it, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. Let's see what happens this game. I'm going to tweet out from Wild William I actually can't read. That's such a long handle. It's like super condensed. It's hard. William Paradise 4, I think. Even playing through pain, Scarlett can micro like a goddess. #IEM. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I wonder what ViOlet's going to do this game, because nothing he's tried worked so far.
I got a little bit unfortunate. It was kind of, you know, it was. I don't feel like he's been completely outplayed. I think he got a little bit unfortunate on the overgrowth game. You know, a few minor things could have done different. The hold was close. It wasn't close enough. I think in the end he should have kept all roaches together rather than also fighting in the middle of the map. But it doesn't really change much. Game number 2 was also incredibly close. Put up a very good hold with his 2-1 roaches and with the spores, but eventually losing the roach one was just the end of it. Either way.
Yeah. This has been a tough series for ViOlet. I mean, all things said and done. Scarlett is just... She really just seems to have such a good grip on this matchup. I don't know if it's because she wanted to or because she just had to play it so much.
It's funny, because ever since we casted that series, or I'm not sure if you casted it with me.
Yeah, ever since we casted her lose to Hendralisk in Season 2 Challenger.
Was a 3-0 victory for Hendralisk, but Hendralisk bring out a couple of very you know, I would say dedicated builds to deal with Scarlett, her playstyle. After that, Scarlett has been absolutely nothing but phenomenal in this matchup. We've casted her in so many ZvZ series, and she won pretty much all of them. Even just the other day or the other week when she won the finals of the Red Bull Detroit qualifier as well from Battlegrounds. Against Soppy, she won 3-0 and she looked so convincingly in every single game. Either way, it's a mirror image so far. Well, actually, ViOlet is going to fire up a lot of Zerglings.
Both players firing up a lot of Zerglings, and both players have Baneling nests. However,
ViOlet did it quicker, though.
Yeah, Scarlett is building a spine crawler, which
is very good news.
Historically speaking, lends itself to defensive play. It's very difficult to walk a spine crawler all the way across the map to attack.
We can ask him, Spine. Spine, how do you feel about defending Banes? Can confirm I am good in sniping Banes.
Well,
he confirmed it for us, Nate. If the Spine confirms it, then it's true.
If only a Spine. What would a Spine crawler talk like?
Well, what's always really interesting is as well, it's like, how much damage will this do and will there be a counterattack? Zergling so close to these Banelings going to actually try to jump on top of something. One Bane will fall. The second
crawler,
Bane.
You were meant to snipe Banes and they got in on the Lings. Scarlett, you will be able to chase these forces
more than
down.
Fine, I think she's more than okay. Because ViOlet is losing all of his units. Now ViOlet has to worry about the counterattack while Scarlett can drone up. If she wants to, of course. He can also go ham on the Zergling counter or on the Zergling tap, and that's exactly what she's doing right now.
She's got a Baneling nest, if you got it, flaunt it. But there are Banelings and another Spine Crawler waiting in the natural of ViOlet.
This Spine also can confirm he's good at sniping Spines.
He is good.
It's a lot of Banelings though for Scarlett, and she's morphing all of them right in vision of this Overlord. I think ViOlet should have what it takes to defend, but he only has a single oh my god, he has one Zergling, Nate.
Yeah.
It will all come down to the Banelings.
This is really tricky because the Bane trades 2 for 5. Okay. ViOlet should be safe, no?
No, I don't think it's that easy.
Scarlett has a lot more than I anticipated.
Yep. ViOlet had 0 Zerglings, Nate. Look at these 2 Banelings.
Oh, don't want to fight drones with Banelings? You want to fight Banelings with drones?
Oh, I don't like it.
She blows up on the larva. Not that many larvae to kill. Scarlett's actually still rallying across, but that Spine Crawler being alive makes things slightly awkward.
She's still up 7 workers, though, so that's a very good news.
Yeah, both players immediately start up Lair, and Scarlett builds drones, while ViOlet still has some Lings on the production tab.
Yeah, he could try to counterattack with his 20 Zerglings, but it's really hard to make something work with your 20 Zerglings when there is a Spine, when there is Queens, and above all, there is Overlord vision all over the map. So if 20 Zerglings make their way across the map, Scarlett can just fire up a couple of Zerglings on her own. Will most likely do that now. Zergling? Oh, just more Banelings.
And thanks for your tweet, Chris Black GB. Scarlett playing some fabulous games against ViOlet. Pleasure to watch. It's a pleasure to cast. Pleasure to have you here.
Yeah. Chris Black, you're the real MVP.
That's right. Banelings are going to finish with Scarlett. ViOlet, you don't want to walk into that.
ZvZ is so nerve-wracking, man.
Yeah, that's why I can't play this matchup. I play Zerg for fun sometimes. I'm like, yeah, Baneling all in a Terran, Proxy Hatch a Protoss. Then I play ZvZ and I'm like, man, I'm just sweating the whole time.
Yep. That's why I just speeding all in.
ZvZ, not a matchup for those with anxiety.
No. It's like, all I have to do is avoid that one Bane. No, Zerglings. It's like my Zerglings work like a magnet. They just run towards the Baneling. They hug it. They don't attack it. They just hug it to make sure that as many Zerglings are in range as possible. And then it all happens. Then my dreams get shattered. ViOlet's gonna try to cancel this third base. He may succeed in doing so. Scarlett has enough units over here.
Great Bane defense.
Alrighty, well, not like that.
Yeah, that was rough. So third base cancel. Now, keep in mind, ViOlet has only just now begun his third base. So this game's still in a very interesting place because Scarlett actually has an infestation pit. ViOlet has a Spire completing soon. But neither of these players have actually built a Roach Horn, which is rather uncommon for mid-game ZvZ.
But if she is, Scarlett has actually done this before against Send, right? She opens up with Infestors, and then she goes into Mutalisk herself, because ViOlet is going to try to transition into Roaches and Hydras immediately. I think Scarlett is, she still has the, probably fire up Pathogen Glands and then get a Spire on her own.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the amount of resources she has banked up, she might not even get Pathogen Glands. Okay, there it is. I had to make sure that she would, you know.
Hashtag sick casticles.
I had to make sure that she would. That's the method.
All right. So what I think what's going to happen is that Scarlett's going to get a couple of Infestors. She's going to rely on these Spore Crawlers to make sure it's really hard for ViOlet to scout, and then she's going to get her own Spire and then try to win a fight with either Fungo and Mudas, or just try to make sure that ViOlet only makes like 6 to 8 Mutalisks, then starts making Roaches, and then suddenly surprise ViOlet, I have 15 Mutas on my own.
Yeah, this would be cool to see. I'm waiting to see.
The mind games in this matchup are really sick too.
Yeah, mind games in this matchup are just
they're pretty 2014-ish mind games. Like, it's a new style of mind games. That in 2015 maybe
ZvZ has evolved.
Yep. Like in 2015 we may be like, this is one of the oldest tricks in the ZvZ book. You pretend like you want to play Roach Hydra, but then you actually just fungo the Mutas and then you go win Mutas on your own. Now, you see ViOlet already firing up +1 missile attacks, getting a Roach Worm, but no sign of a Hydralisk then. ViOlet is not aware of this yet, Nate.
Yeah, this is awkward. The Infestors, though, they are coming out.
Firing up Roach
5
speed.
for Scarlett.
This is bad for ViOlet, I think. Like, Scarlett is pushing out so many drones as well. She's going to be up to 67 workers. She has Spore Crawlers everywhere. She has Queens everywhere. ViOlet probably thinks like, well, mission accomplished anyway for my Mutalisk. I'm just going to win the Roach car now because you've done such a big investment with all your spores and stuff that I will be a-okay. But, oh, okay. Okay.
Well, that is one way to cook an omelet.
You think it's going to be a good omelet?
Omelet du fromage when it comes to Nidus networks.
Omelet. But Scarlett has a lot of money. I think she's gonna get a crazy amount of Mutalisk out by the time that this happens. And where is his Nidus network even gonna go down? Is this little Zergling? Is he the one who's gonna provide detection?
There is an Overseer still tucked behind.
But it's not gonna happen.
That is
no. Even though I say no.
No,
it's
I don't believe it.
No.
No.
So 13 Mutalisk are on the way for Scarlett. By the time that the Nidus network unloads, it could be 15 or 16. She has Fungals on her own. She has Queens. I do not think that this is going to work, but I've seen ViOlet make some crazy Roach Nidus plays, so perhaps it's possible, perhaps I believe. ViOlet has to be so confused as well. Nidus network is going to go down. It's going to go down in the main base, but Scarlett has vision of it. She can see it, but she's distracted, Nate. She's distracted.
Oh, the Mutas are distracting Scarlett. This is really, really bad.
It looks like an Overlord, but it's not an Overlord.
Nidus net worm's going to finish. It's in. Roaches in the main base of Scarlett. That fourth base, sure, it's going to be safe for now, but now the main is under siege.
The Queens need to buy time as well with Transfuse. Now, ViOlet's probably really... I think the Muta count is already very high. How much work will ViOlet be able to do over here before losing all of his Roaches? Look at Scarlett. He's so confident. He focuses down the Nidus networks. He wants to make sure that these Roaches stay here.
ViOlet has made such a good play with this, though. The Mutas are taking so long to kill this off. The lair is going to get destroyed. I'm really concerned. This game is in such a weird place. Those Roaches make the supply look deceivingly good for ViOlet, but well, Scarlett is going to actually lose that fourth base, so I don't know where she has an advantage. She's now down a base.
She has an advantage in Mutalisk, Net. She has 22 of them, and she has Infestors against the 7 of ViOlet. ViOlet also needs to make a very big investment into Spore Crawlers and stuff, because now he's the player that doesn't have enough anti-air, so he fires up 8 Spores. Scarlett wants to make sure that she's never going to lose a Muta war, so she's going to chase down these... how many? I mean, Spores are very good.
Yeah, Scarlett should be able to actually block all these Mutas off from ever reaching home.
Not just that, Scarlett might be able to jump on Spore Crawlers.
Yeah.
I know that's risky, guys, but when you have this many Mutalisk, I'd say YOLO.
It might actually be...
Is he going to YOLO it?
I don't know if you want to fight while the other Mutas are there, though. It's so risky. She has a lot of Roaches still to deal with on the map, and I think that's actually going to be This is going to be your downfall for this game. I think ViOlet, as this counterattack, should do crazy amounts of damage. Getting on top of these infestors. Okay, that fungal was actually pretty good, but still.
Oh, the oh my god!
Dead infestor.
So cool.
Staying alive. Staying alive. Queens are staying alive, man. It's a transfuse party up in here.
Sickest combination of fungal, and transfuse.
That was beautiful.
That's absolutely phenomenal by Scarlett.
Now Scarlett sits comfortably up in supply. Wow.
Man, stuff like that is so cool. It's really so cool.
And that infestor, you know, man. When you're surrounded by a gang of
Okay, now
roaches.
ViOlet is going to fire up 9 more mulas, Nate. He has bought quite a bit of time for himself, so his mula count will go up to 18. 18 with spores is indeed enough, at least to defend for now.
Yeah. ViOlet's like, alright, we're going to play Mutaball.
The bouncing damage. What are the upgrades on the middle list? +1 flyer attacks for ViOlet?
No, ViOlet actually has better upgrades. Carapace isn't done yet for Scarlett. But then again, ViOlet also hasn't started any +2 upgrades, so it's going to be even.
So now hatcheries are just going down all around the map. Scarlett is taking 9 o'clocks, ViOlet is taking 11, and she also is trying to get her fort base up and running. Okay, this is the most scary thing though. There's 4 infestors that are on the way for ViOlet.
Yeah.
If there's one way for ViOlet to find his way back into this game, is actually be able to fungal the Mutalisk of Scarlett, which is something that obviously Scarlett doesn't expect. At least I think so, but she's a lot better than we think.
And now these two are basically going to be throwing grenades at each other with these fungals. All we really need to do is get one good one in the center, and it's almost all over. Although, that being said, Scarlett still has a far
my god!
muta count.
They were also clumped up. Scarlett was almost the one that was able to land the fungal. She would have been able to kill 10 mutas.
This is going to be really intense because there's still a lot of queens that can transfuse. So if you bring your mutas in to fight against the other clump of mutas, both of them fungling each other.
Now then Scarlett is going to win. He has so many more mutalisks.
Then it's just going to be really awkward.
39 against 18. For everybody who just joined us, we are currently playing a best of 5 between Scarlett and ViOlet. Scarlett is up 2-0. The winner of this series will qualify for the Intel Extreme Masters Toronto main event, which means that you get your trip paid for, and above all, you get some guaranteed prize money as well. I believe it's $350 already for just being part of the main event, but of course you'll be in the running to make it far into such a prestigious tournament. We saw it last week with, 2 weeks ago with Jim. Just win 2 best of 3s and a best of 5, and you're in the semi-finals of a main event.
That's pretty sick.
And suddenly everybody who talks about you get a couple $1,000s for your efforts. Either way, second Spire even going down for Scarlett already. She's also getting her Hydro list down. She just needs to win this game. I feel like does he know? Ooh.
Both of them have like hidden bases.
Oh, there's so many spores. Look at the spore count, 11 and 6. ViOlet has 11 spore crawlers, and he makes 2 more.
Yeah, spore crawlers are they're sick good, man.
Spore good unit.
Spore's good unit. when do cannons and missile turrets get the anti-bio upgrade?
A little bit of a Zergling skirmish going on the left side of the map, which will be won by Scarlett. A, because he had more Zerglings, and B, the Mutalisk help out. So it's all about vision, it's all about a single fungal. Now, the fact that ViOlet has this base, he should use these 2 drones to start mining gas. That's nice. That can eventually, turn things for him. He can get a few more Mutalisk out than he deserves.
Yeah, Scarlett's hidden base, I think, is one that's really doing work on the left side. This base is just like.
Is this base hidden though?
I don't know. Do you see it?
Ah,
it's like a gold. It's a gold mine of gas. It's great.
The gold extractor. It's real.
That's a new unit skin I want. All my extractors.
All right. Well, ViOlet is gonna find the gold extractor now. There are a lot of Mutalisk here though, so I'd be surprised if these Zerglings are able to achieve a whole lot.
This Mutalisk count is actually this is a true swarm.
Zerglings in hold position will get a drone or 2, but that's about all.
Not really the scariest part of the army. Scarlett's building Hydralisks. And there's an Ultralisk Cavern on the way for ViOlet. ViOlet's broke as a joke.
I mean, Ultras are not a bad choice as long as you can protect them with the Queens and the Fungus, because the Mutalisk will never get close to an Ultra if they are babysitted by Queens and Infestors. You don't want to do that. Even though Scarlett is very, very good in splitting up her Mutalisk. ViOlet's actually done a really good job in no matter how high the Muta count is, you don't want to fly. Lol, this is a fake.
Another Nidus.
I do not believe this.
Scarlett.
How is this even going down?
Is there even anything in that Nidus network? No.
But how is it even going down?
There's a changeling in there.
Ah, okay.
And the changeling died. There's actually nothing in the Nidus network, by the way. No. So it was a complete bait.
Expensive bait, but ViOlet has the money. Gonna try to be active once more with his Zerglings, but their static defense is now in the hidden base of Scarlett too. It's not really hidden anymore, it's kind of just like the next natural base for her to take. Look at her bang, by the way, 5,800 minerals.
This is a gnarly bang.
Okay, there are Zerglings right now all over the place. These Zerglings actually doing some serious work, Nate. They're killing a lot of drones. The upgrades are not even that phenomenal yet, as these Zerglings are currently at 1-1. Start working on the hive. Chipped away at a couple of these drones. ViOlet has killed 45 drones throughout the entirety of this game.
Oh, his adrenal glands is about to finish up too, which will make these run-bys even more threatening.
Okay, so I really like this Broodlord, like this this Ultralisk tech switch. At first I was like, Ultras, and then I was like, Ultras, that makes so much sense, because I just do not see how the Mutalisk can ever fight against this many Infestors and the Queens, and the Mutalisk on ViOlet's side as well. It's going to be really difficult for Scarlett to find the correct way to engage his army.
I don't feel like Hydras are just going to break these Ultralisks, especially.
I mean, the most important thing is that Scarlett doesn't clump up her Mutalisk. That's like, oh, the first Fungal connects with quite a few. The second one is huge.
The Hydras are here getting hit by the Fungals as well, but the counter Fungals onto ViOlet's Mutas come in. The Queens are here throwing their transfuses. So many more Fungals just endlessly going. And there's the Remax on Ultras coming in. Still has to be careful with how far she advances forward because there's still Spore Crawlers.
The Hydras are doing some real serious work. Eventually they might get cleaned up. More Fungals landing, but...
so many Mutas caught by the Fungals.
A lot of them are dying. Oh my god, there was so much fungal energy.
This is just...
What a bizarre fight.
So many... Yeah, this is not a fight
that I've ever casted. I've
never casted a fight. Put this one on the box art for Legacy of the Void, boys. We're done here.
No. 10 Ultralisk on the production tab. Then you know that this is a ZvZ that's been going on for... It's only a 26-minute game. It actually feels like a 50-minute game with all the madness that we've had. So 10 Ultras is the Remax of choice for ViOlet. 7 Infestors and a lot of Hydralisk is going to be the choice of Scarlett. She only has +1 missile attacks, but +2 is about to finish up. +2 armor as well. Oh, careful! But this might be good.
That micro.
Oh my god.
Sick Mutalisk control.
Yeah, that's actually really good. Scarlett is able to pick off.
That's some of the best muted dodging I've seen.
But these Hydras though, they have no protection. They're so exposed.
Ultralisks do lots of damage.
Okay, so now we need Mutalisk.
Oh man.
The Mutalisk have to clean up the Ultras, but the Ultras have so much armor that Mutalisk do not kill them very quickly. One of the Spires is going to die, no +3 armor. I don't think that matters all that much. These Ultras were not really going to attack it anyway. The second Spire, however, is going to fall as well, so it's nothing but Ultras from this point.
Yeah, Scarlett's just trying to crank out Hydralisks to deal with this. She doesn't even have that much larva to actually rebuild her forces with.
This is like what you normally see when roaches are trying to kill drones, but this time it's Ultras.
ViOlet's base in the top left has been invaluable in this situation. Scarlett is now starting to mine minerals off the left side base. This Hydralisk Infestor is an interesting response to the Ultras, but this is not an army that ViOlet can replace either. But this counterattack, all the Hydralisk is going to get killed. This is a really important pickoff.
Yeah, she just lost all of her production. I don't think that Scarlett can produce anything other than... she has another Hydralisk then.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's talk about an insurance policy.
And she does still have her infestation pit and her spawning pool. Well, I couldn't agree more, Nate. This one, the Zergling sees the creep. That's about it. I think she's going to try now. She has to expect something is up.
She knows what's up.
Oh, there are a lot of Banings morphing over here as well. Scarlett,
if only those Mutas ran past that. That's going to be really ugly.
But the Mutas won't be able to find it. Mutas actually think that this base is taken.
Yeah, there's actually Hydralisks there now, too. I don't think he has...
Oh, the Mutas still do not check that base, Nate.
Are you kidding me? Oh, well, splitting Hydras versus Banelings.
That's a new micro challenge, but...
Not bad.
Alright, either way, every second that goes by is a good one because his Ultra count is getting higher and higher again. Next time we will have a few more Fungals to work with. ViOlet has played this game very beautifully though. I really enjoy how he's played this game.
Yeah, I actually have no idea who's going to win this game though.
ViOlet.
You sure?
Yep. Ultralisk, brother.
Wow. Ultralisks are real, I guess.
Now this Zergling actually moved forward because of the reinforcement spawn, and now I think Scarlett knows about this base. She has to be careful though. She might get an Ultra. Where are the Infestors?
Just watch out for the Fungals! There's the first one!
Yeah, this will be chain Fungal to death. That's a lot.
That's frustrating. Trying to kill the Queens.
Maybe she can get away. If she can get away, she needs... ViOlet needs one more Fungal. Good Fungal there.
No more
he's going to get like almost all of them.
And now the Hydralisks are going to die to the Ling Ultralisk push. I think, yeah, ViOlet's got this.
Yep, Ultra too strong for now, as ViOlet is going to win an amazing game on Catalina. This has to be one of the most entertaining ZvZs that I've seen in a little while. I thought it was awesome from start to finish, really interesting tech switches. And in the end, the Ultras do what the Roaches normally fail to do, or at least what the Roaches failed to do in game number 2 on Kingston Junk Station. It's like, so you just need us to kill drones while we're slowly dying to Ultras or to Mutalisk? We can do this. We can really do that.
Great game by ViOlet, and will not be 3-0'd here. As
Not at all.
I mean, Scarlett still just needs to win one map to advance, but after a long, grueling game like that, 31-minute back and forth, tough match.
Yeah, it's tricky. I really love how ViOlet didn't underreact with his Spore Cross, Nate, because the Muta count went so high. It went up to a point like, yeah, we all know that Spores are absolutely phenomenal against Mutalisk. But if there are 40 Mutalisks, then you can just fly in almost like any number of Spores. But it was so important that A, there were Spores everywhere, and B, there were later on the threat of Infestors as well. And that, the combination of those two things, then it just makes it impossible. Yeah, you can have 44 Mutalisks, but you still don't want to fly into Fungo and Spore Crawlers. It's just too much to handle. So that was a very entertaining game number 3. Game number 4 is going to be fired up immediately on Nimbus, as the players are ready, and we are ready as well. I think they forgot about like a caster or two. But they were so quick that like we had like no saying in this at all. We're gonna invite it, we accepted, and they fired it up. So I kind of feel bad. I think there was one more caster in the game. Either way, there's still other streams going on as well. As I believe Illusion is gonna go up against Polt. I believe that is currently being streamed on Base Trade TV. So of course, big shout out to Rifkin once more for always providing an additional stream for tournaments like this. And then the winner of that series is going to play against
the loser of this one.
The loser of this one. That is correct. Ooh, imagine if Scarlett wins and we're going to have the two CSN brothers, the two friends playing against each other with everything on the line.
Those two just have to play against each other so much.
Yep, they played against each other MLG Anaheim. That was the last time, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they ran into each other since then. At least not that I've seen. But we're loaded into Nimbus for game number 4. And in the bottom right, we have the blue Zerg player. It's ViOlet.
I know when Nate's getting tired when he brings out the accents.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's... Sometimes you just gotta mix it up a little bit. In the top right, we've got the red Zerg player representing Team Acer. Her name is Scarlett.
Ooh. Ooh, Nate. Ooh, haven't we seen this
The
pony
ye old
before?
1414. A build taken straight from 2v2 ladder.
I had no idea where you want to go with this. I was like, alright, which cheese is he going to mention? But instead, you just contributed it to an entire genre. I like that a lot, Nate.
Hey man, I've played enough. If you play 2v2,
I have
play
played
versus Zergs, like the old Zerg Terran combo, you just go like either 14-14 or 10 pool speed with like reactor Hellions. It's like crazy. This is a build like every Zerg player does, because it's like I can't hatch first because it's a 2v2, but I don't want to cheese.
In 2v2, I must say, you know, as amazing as StarCraft is, I definitely enjoy 2v2 a lot more in Warcraft 3 than I do it in StarCraft 2. So I think in 2v2 in StarCraft, everybody just needs a hero. You just get one hero.
Yeah, that's why I just play Protoss.
Yeah.
You get your Mothership Core.
Yeah. This Terran humor every now and then. Either way, ViOlet mines 100 gas, fire up speed immediately. It is so fortunate for Scarlett, though, that she's going to scout ViOlet. For Scarlett already knows what she's playing against. Now, this is still tricky because this ramp is pretty far away from everything else. Because normally, you know, you can just defend the natural with units on your ramp. However, this ramp is very far away. But Scarlett already knows about this opening of ViOlet. Now, I wonder if that is going to change anything for ViOlet, or if he's still going to absolutely YOLO swag in and just go for it.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because ViOlet has shown that he's willing to get aggressive simply based off the last game. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try to do something. I mean, why would you open this way like, unless you wanted to do something crazy? Unless you think Scarlett's actually going to like 10-pull bane you on this map.
I mean, like, you don't just try something. You either go all out or you don't do it at all.
Yeah, exactly. Go hard or go home.
Yep, so he's going to have to produce like close to 30 speedlings, I believe, if he wants to make this work. Because there's really no sense opening up with 12 speedlings unless you can somehow calculate the amount of drones you have to kill to justify your opening. But that seems really random. And if the queens are somehow on hold position on the ramp, Is Scarlett gonna drop a creep tumor? Yes, he is. So she'll probably get a spine crawler as well. Oh, okay. For a second I thought no. ViOlet is gonna produce nothing but Zerglings. Speed will finish up actually right now. The queens are not there yet, Nate.
Oh, this is awkward. Spine crawler is not gonna finish up. Immediately canceled. Of course, 2 queens are not quite enough just yet. But ViOlet has so many more lings on the way.
Okay,
They're
however,
far though.
Yeah, this creep tumor is gonna help Scarlett at least to get creep closer and closer to the ramp.
But yeah, now she can just park the queens on the ramp once these lings are gone.
Yep, and this overload is so important for Scarlett. She is going to see all these reinforcements make their way across the map. Scarlett needs to put her queens on the ramp. Doesn't see now. She's not gonna make it in time.
I think she's got enough lings in production to defend anyway.
Okay, well, she needs to put them on the hold position, then she can get the spine behind it, and then I think she's done it.
Yeah,
ViOlet knows
there's
it.
nothing ViOlet can do. Yes, she has to build drones. Scarlett starts up a baneling nest, and I actually wouldn't even mind to see her try to. I think it's too late, I guess, to try to do a Ling Bane attack when this finishes.
No, since ViOlet. Okay, ViOlet drops his own baning nest though.
Yeah, just build drones. Drone and.
I like this opening though from for ZvZ from ViOlet. Like, it gives you so many options. You can go all out, and it really makes it hard for your opponent to figure out when do I have to start droning up again. Yes, of course. Ooh, for Scarlett, it's gonna end up losing. She has double transfuse.
Oh, that's...
Man, this queen, what a selfish little woman.
God, that queen, man. She's not the real MVP.
This queen is like one of those girls. It's like, I love that girl, and then the girl walks away. She's like, oh, I can't stand it. I'm supposed to picture me and my bae.
If you were if you were about to die with your wing girlfriend and you didn't transfuse her, that's what you'd be like.
20 more Zerglings on production for Scarlett. She's pretty serious about her counterattack, Nate. ViOlet, on the other hand, is going to try to counterattack in the main base. Will get the queen. That's what you get for not helping out your friend. Now, there was no transfuse available, so it backfires. Karma is a...
Yeah, Karma is a queen. Oh, he's baneling at the top of the ramp, waiting.
Oh, good
nice
splits.
trades by Scarlett.
Okay, the last one connected with a few more. It's still going to be very tricky. 21 Zerglings and 9 Banelings against the 2.
Oh, that one wasn't bad.
This is going to be really hard for
Scarlett.
It's going to be really hard for ViOlet. ViOlet needs a couple of lucky Bane connections.
The Bane train rolling in.
Okay, split so far, but he's still losing a lot of drones, Nate.
Yeah, this is still really difficult.
He's losing life as well. There are still 4 Banelings wiggling towards the natural.
Oh, okay, trade. Trying to... Okay, yeah,
good
fire
enough.
drones.
A couple of low HP drones as well.
I think Scarlett is just about done it. There's more and more Zerglings running across the map to enter this base.
ViOlet has a few speedlings as well. He's still hanging in there. He really needs to cherish every single drone right now, like it's his firstborn son.
Yeah. More drones getting picked off. Well, this is awkward.
I mean, 9 drones, it's really, really hard to come back from. It is not absolutely impossible. I don't want to call this game over yet, but needless to say, that was a very successful attack for Scarlett. And this one Bane by ViOlet on this ramp, this really saved his life. Because if that Bane wouldn't have connected with those other 2 Banes, then there were 4 Banelings instead of 2 wiggling towards his middle line.
I think at that point, pretty much all the workers are dead.
Then it's absolutely curtains. Now he still has a little bit of hope to hang into. His layer is a little bit behind. He's down 8 workers. He's basically down in everything, but it's a very large map, so comebacks are possible.
Yeah.
Scarlett probably just going to... Plus, he has a Roach one.
Yeah, with the layer on the way, I think she just gets Roach speed.
Yep. Maybe a Roach +1.
Maybe +1. I'd like +1. Oh, she's going to take a third base a little bit faster instead, which is just fine too.
Yep, because he's going to be able to protect it. There will be a few speed links from ViOlet making his way across the map. He's going to try to deny Scarlett from going out to 3 bases. Good snipe there, working with very little, but still getting the job done. You know, a couple moves like that, Nate, and we have a game on our hands again.
Yeah. Scarlett has so much money set up. She's like, I really want to spend money on this hatchery. You don't understand, man. Like, I've got the money for it. Just give it to me. It's okay.
Spire is on the production tab.
Oh, okay. I guess I like Spire. I guess Scarlett likes her Mutalisks quite a bit.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
No. These Roaches are going to deny these Lings once again. Keeping Scarlett's third base nice and safe.
What these Mutalisks will most likely do is going to make it very, very hard for ViOlet to keep this base alive. Because will he have creep threat there? Will he somehow have spore crawlers protecting all 3 mineral lines? ViOlet already has so little to work with, so the last thing that you want is to make more investments in static defenses and stuff like that when you already have barely any units to work with.
Yeah, it's a really good point. This is a tricky situation to be in no matter what, because you don't have a real tech advantage. The roach stuff is nice. Maybe if he tries to do like a very like strong +1 roach attack, but as I said that, I guess he still has a little bit of time to drone. This is still just difficult because you don't really have a clear path. Mostly because you're not really as ahead as you'd like to be, or close. He's still down in workers.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a bit, by the way.
Yeah, and he has absolutely no way of being aggressive. But, you know, he has showed us last game, Nate, that even when he has to be defensive, he definitely knows how to still turn it into a real game. And I think that last game on Catalina was actually a phenomenal game by ViOlet. I mean, we tried to hype it, I think, as much as we could, and it was an awesome game, but I don't think we really... I think it was a very high-level ZvZ, let's just put it like that. And I think he made so many correct calls. It wasn't an easy game for him to win, but he definitely made the best out of the situation he was in. And overall just showed great understanding of the matchup. I guess that's where I wanted to go with it. So, it's still doable, Nate. It's still more than doable.
Yeah. ViOlet has the potential to bring this series back. And he's got a little ways to go, but
he doesn't have Overlord speed. No.
No.
He's gonna end up losing like 6 Overlords.
Now the Overlords will die.
The Overlord pain train is real.
Yep, the Spore Crawlers are gonna start up back home.
This guy's already steaming out of his ears. He's like, no, I'm next, aren't I?
He sent me out to scout, didn't want to fight.
By Eloise me.
Oh, that Overlord actually, it's like, wow.
That was like, wow, why do I sound like Litot?
Because I'm whining.
Because I'm complaining about something. The rest is always something to complain about.
Well, the Overlord got an extra like minute. He complained like, okay, your complaints have been heard. Here's 30 more seconds to live.
This Overlord will get picked off as well.
Oh, boom.
There are a few more out there. Scarlett is currently up 20 workers. That is a tremendous amount of work.
6 Overlords being made. So many Overlords that need to be replaced. And there's still like 3 more out of the map.
Scarlett is going to find this one as well.
Yeah, building units is... building units, honestly, it's so mainstream. Might as well just be supply block forever.
Look at this, by the way. Very quick Hive. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a Great Aspire being fired up immediately as soon as Hive is ready. And you know, what can ViOlet really do, Nate? Yeah, you can drop a Hydralisk then, but by the time that he's going to have enough Hydras to actually march across the map, Scarlett is going to have Infestors and Broodlord.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, it's super tough.
I think these mutas have already done like a crazy amount of damage, and there's 8 spines on the way too. So Scarlett is basically saying there is no way you're going to do your roach counterattack shenaniganery against me. Killing these drones would be nice, mostly because Scarlett really needs this gas. Oh, Burrow. Okay, that's one cool play that can be made.
He revealed his hand a little too early, though, I felt.
Yeah, there was an opportunity to make the burrowed roach swarm do a lot, and by burrowed roach swarm, I mean they were all just burrowed on the right side. It looked really cool for a second, but yeah, they're still coming. The Overseer is on top of them already, though, so...
No, don't do this, ViOlet. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Scarlett just in an absolutely phenomenal position. We do see the Great Aspire on the way. 8 Corruptors are on the production tab. What can ViOlet possibly do? Maybe get his own Spire out, but he just doesn't have money for it. He's just been too broke. Scarlett has been doing a really good job in making sure that he stayed broke after that early stage in this game, killing all those Overlords, forcing out Spore Crawlers, and now the answer that you need against Broodlord Infestor, well, most of the time it's Broodlord Infestor Corruptor on your own with Queens.
Yeah.
There really isn't any better unit composition in the current ZvZ. And ViOlet doesn't have money for that, so the only thing that he could truly hope for is that he can somehow catch the entire army of Scarlett out of position. Or a couple of burrowed roaches are finding openings. Like that all of these Hydralisks can somehow just park their asses right below Broodlords and then snipe them.
Yeah, because otherwise you're not going to catch Broodlords. No. They can't be abducted. They can be fungal, but the fungal doesn't actually stop them. You know, it doesn't have that lockdown ability anymore.
It just gives them a cute little coat to make it through the winter nights.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
7
this
Broodlords on the way. With this many spines that he's got behind this too, like, how do you attack into this?
Scarlett doesn't have Infestors, though. That's the only thing, Nate. I kind of expected her to have some Infestors.
Yeah, it's tricky. These Hydras are actually going to try to move and get on top of these Broodlords, which is almost doable. Now the spines are doing work, but they are getting slowly chewed away at. The Hydralisk count is quite real, but these Broodlings are going to slowly chew away. Once all these Roaches are gone, that's when Scarlett can actually just dive everything on this with the wall support. Yep, Mutas are going to come in. Broodlings are still wailing in on the Hydralisks, and Scarlett, she's actually trading out quite a few of her Mutas, but all the Hydras
more
are
than
dead.
okay. More than
GG.
okay.
Scarlett's going to advance, and she qualifies for Intel Extreme Masters Toronto.
Guarantees us of at least 2 Canadians in the main event at the Intel Extreme Masters, as Masa has already won the Canadian qualifier, and now Scarlett will be one of the 3 players that qualifies from the American qualifier. Congratulations to her. Another very solid performance by Scarlett throughout the day. She defeated Puck. She defeated, of course, ViOlet in the final series of the day. And who was her first opponent? She defeated Select as well. So Scarlett, too, qualified after playing all 3 matchups. That's also super impressive. You know, ZVP, ZvT, ZvZ doesn't really matter, Nate. So far, 2 fantastic North American StarCraft 2 players have qualified, and I think it's worth looking at the bracket once more. Just tell the people what's home. Of course, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're not done yet. We still have a very, very important best of 5 and maybe a best of 3. I'm not exactly sure where the bracket is right now, but we can take a look at it. So this was our winner bracket, or our upper bracket, I should say, as we have Major and Scarlett already qualifying. The upper bracket final will not be played, as it makes absolutely no difference between seeding, prize money whatsoever. Just congratulations to Major and Scarlett, both of them qualifying while playing all 3 matchups and also having a tough draw. Like Scarlett, her bracket as well. That was not easy. Select first round, Puck. Puck, probably the best PvZ player in North America in the second round, and then getting ViOlet, one of the toughest Zergs in the North American region. So great job by her as well. You almost expect it of her, but it's still phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy the way that this bracket is played out, but nothing too surprising. And in the lower bracket, well, Huck is going to play against ViOlet to determine who faces off against Polt. So, and that series against Polt is going to be for the final spot out. There is no loser bracket final. Technically, I guess that spot to play for the final spot is the final.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Well done there.
I think.
Good analysis.
I tried.
Good bracket analysis. So guys, that means that we have one best of 3 for you coming up between Huck and ViOlet. This is such a, like, you guys should actually just do a job right now, and we're gonna do it too. But just go to Ali Gulak and look how often Huck and ViOlet have run into each other over the last 3 months.
Hint, it's a lot.
It's quite a few times, and also what's also funny is that Nate and me have casted pretty much all of them. Either way, it's going to be cool. Should be a really fun continuing rivalry. A couple of times Huck looked really good, but the last time they played, ViOlet looked really good again, if I recall that correctly. Either way, that best 3 is coming up, so stay tuned. Keep the tweets coming. Hashtag IEM. Let us know who you want to be the third North American to qualify from this IEM qualifier. Do you guys want Polt? Do you want Huck? Or do you want ViOlet? Let us know. Hashtag IEM via the Twitter universe. Tweet at Nate. He really likes it when you do that. Twitter.com/IntaneousTV, or just tweet at ESLTV and use the hashtag IEM. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.